Today, I wanted to kind of come and chat with you. So, one of the things that we talked about, my sister and I, like a month ago, she kind of gave me shit because I wasn't sharing. So, I wanted to share with you guys now. A lot of us are in this perimenopause, menopause. If you're following me, if you're chatting with me, y'all know we're kind of in that circle, right? We're in that phase of life. And Carrie and I were talking about, we've been talking a lot about how, like, you go into these extreme things, these diets, these programs, these plans, and then you flip around and now things are drastic and they're traumatic and your body is revolting effectively, right? And I know a lot of people, myself included, who got into this phase of life and they're like, well, wait a minute. That's not how this has worked before. Why isn't it working now? Right. So perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. That's what we're talking about. I'm somewhere, I think, between perimenopause and menopause. I think my body's trying to decide whether it's done or it's not done. So I'm kind of right there, right? Um, a couple of things about perimenopause that a lot of people don't know is that it actually starts at 35. I seriously, health professional, you guys, I never really bothered to look into it. And that's been kind of the issue with a lot of science is there's not a lot of science out there. So we haven't known what to do. We just think, well, I mean, that's basically we're dried up, we're over the hill and we're just moving on, right? These women who go and have these vibrant lives after lives, English, after perimenopause and menopause, and even during it. We think that they're like these special superheroes, right? Well, that's not really true. It's just they've dialed into their body and they figured out what works for them. They basically dialed back and gotten into basics. And that's where we hit today. Okay. I am going to share with you today what has worked for me. And I mean, it was life changing in the first 3 days. And if you listen to me for any amount of time, you know that is my rule with supplement. Is if you notice a distinct difference in how you feel within a week, a couple of weeks, some of them take 3 weeks to a month, especially with herbal medicine. Herbal medicine can take 4 to 8 weeks in some cases. And it's just the power of plants. That's just how it works. Herbal medicine is more about long-term health support than it is an acute situation that needs to be taken care of right away. Now, there are things that are that potent and can be used that way. But for the most part, when you look at herbal medicine, you're looking at long-term, right? So AKA supplements. Just so how did this all start? We're going to dial back. This might be a little long. So put your headphones on, put me on in the background, and listen up. This is going to be some great information because this is information that I've been talking about with my friends, talking about with my sister and my other sisters from other misters who are in the same phase of life. One of the things that as women in this phase, we don't do enough of is we don't talk. So I'm going to give you a little information. I'm going to tell you what I'm taking. I'm going to tell you what happened, my results, and then we're going to talk about what is inside each one and what they are intended to do, what their power is effectively. Okay. At the end of this, or even in the middle, I want you to comment back because I want to know a couple of things. I want this conversation to start. You all know I like these conversations. We're talking back to basics on Thursday with our masterclass. I went back to basics with the boys and with myself. We'll talk about the boys another time. I'll bring that up to you next week. I got some results for you from them, but I kind of I want another week to really check it out for them. So we'll talk about that next week. But this week we're going to talk just specifically about this perimenopause and menopause. Okay. So here's brutal truth. When you hit perimenopause and menopause, if things are 100% out of whack, if all of a sudden your life has gone haywire and you're like, what the hell? I don't feel like me. I'm moody when I'm not usually moody. I can't sleep for shit. I'm having hot flashes. I'm exhausted all the time, even though I feel like I get enough sleep. I'm waking up in the middle of the night. The ringing in the ears. Oh my God, you guys, that ringing in the ears. Have you had that? Or like a frozen shoulder. So I dislocated this shoulder 2008, that big accident I've talked about. in the past. If you haven't heard me talk about it, DM me, I'll fill you in. It's on YouTube. Not my YouTube, someone else's YouTube, but it's on YouTube. Anyway, so the shoulder has been bothering me off and on, right? But it does that with barometric pressure. Didn't think anything of it. The ringing in the ear, I've always occasionally had ringing in the ear here and there, so I didn't really think much about it. I just figured, okay, it's a side effect. It'll go away over time. How many of these menopause, perimenopause side effects have you looked at and said, oh, they're going to go away? Well, they will, but like, do you need to suffer until they do? The answer to that is no. My friend Alta, and I'm going to tag her at the bottom of this, she is actually an expert in menopause and perimenopause. She had a watch party for a film that's on PBS, I believe, called The M Factor. If you have not watched it, I highly recommend it. It was very eye-opening to me. Give me one sec. I'm going to keep talking. So effectively what it said, and the various ways that we can support our bodies during this time so that we're not suffering, because like, I mean, we shouldn't have to. And there are women who have to have like hysterectomies when they're early and stuff like it, when in earlier ages, well before 35. And then they're thrown into menopause or they're thrown into postmenopause. And it's just a mess. And there's nothing that says, look, here's a protocol that will help you. Okay. So a lot of us, especially with herbal medicine and natural therapies and some of the ancient practices coming back into public light, a lot of us are using those factors. Hey, Roby, I'll connect you with her. We're reconnecting with all those factors, and we're learning on our own because obviously science isn't doing a lot for us, right? So anyway, so she had Alta and a couple of her colleagues who are also menopause and perimenopause experts had a watch party. And as I'm watching this video, I'm like, wow. Okay. And I'm thinking through the last 3 months. Now it's been a month since I watched that, about 5 weeks. And effectively what happens is I watch things, and as my brain is realizing I'm going through the things that have happened to me over several months period. Now, I have been blaming my bags, my exhaustion, my lack of motivation on most days, the foggy brain, the ringing ears. I've been blaming that on being exhausted because the boys are young. I had them older, so the boys are young, coming into the room. Well, they come into the room still. It's not as frequent. And we have literally over the last 3 months had 3 days where those kids have come in and had the midnight party. That's not the reason I was feeling all of these things. And I'm watching this video and I'm listening to these ladies. I'm like, oh, bro, okay, I need to do what I would do for a client that was coming to me. So I did my research, tracked out all my herbal medicine books, went and got on all the scientific studies. I love Australian and New Zealand scientific studies, you guys. Love them. If you have access to them, trust me. I just said they're very powerful. Thanks, Stella. So I started doing my research and I discovered quite a few things. Now, what I discovered is that the supplements I'm taking, while they're very helpful, they really weren't addressing my symptoms. Okay. And the big thing about taking supplements is you want them to help you. So where my supplements were helping me to a certain extent, they weren't really pushing me over the edge. They weren't doing a lot to really get me to a place where I feel 100% me. Like, I am that person that people say, you don't need any more coffee as I'm drinking mine, right? I don't need any more caffeine. I really don't need any of it to have energy throughout the day. I like my coffee, I like the habit of coffee. I like the creaminess of coffee. But in reality, if I gave up caffeine, I would still be an energetic, active person because that's just me. Sitting still, it's like a ants in my pants. I can't do it. I can't do it. It is so hard. If you've seen me on a live where I'm sitting, you notice I kind of move a lot. Yeah, that's because I can't sit. I just can't. It is just I'm just very active. I'm one of those very active people. So anyway, so I went and I found a couple of supplements, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Now, full disclaimer, these supplements helped me. They could help a lot of you if you are facing similar things. It does not mean they help everybody. Okay. This is not a network marketing thing. This is something I found outside of network marketing. Full disclosure. Yes, they are on Amazon for those of you avoiding Amazon and boycotting it. They do offer it on their own websites. So you've got two options. You can get them on subscription. One thing I would highly recommend, because I am not a doctor, make sure these do not combat and they're not counterindicative with any prescription medication that you're taking. Okay. I have not done that research yet. I'm not taking any prescription medication. So it wasn't really something I would look at least not yet. And what I want you to do is I want you to track your results from the supplement you're taking. If you decide to order these, and absolutely, I want you to track your progress. See what symptoms you're feeling. Before you actually get them in, start tracking all those symptoms. Start really being mindful and paying attention to your body. Okay. And then I want you to really look at what your nutrition is like. And if you're not sure, you're not clear, you got to get into our masterclass on Thursday. All right. We're dialing it back. We're getting you all back to basics, because from basics is where you get to let your body and your brain reconnect with each other and get some balance. Okay. Figure out how you want to eat, what is healthiest for you. You know, is it higher protein, which actually in perimenopause and menopause is highly recommended because we burn so much. If you look at how you have your period throughout puberty and mid-adult life, we need more protein, more iron the week of our cycle, right? It's no different. Your body's burning through calories very rapidly, trying to figure out this hormone fluctuation that's happening without any blueprint. All right. And the one thing I noticed about all this is it's all over the freaking map. So higher protein, higher fat, healthy protein actually is very helpful. Taking everything back to basics, getting back to just a basic, fundamental, balanced diet, and going from there, listening to your body, going from there is ideal. Okay. So if you decide to try these or something else, perfect. Just make sure that when you order or when you decide you're gonna order them, whether you do or don't, start that log, use your symptoms, use your poop, use that Bristol stool chart. If you need it, let me know. I'm happy to send it to you. Y'all know that. And then what I want you to do is once you get those supplements in and you start taking them, continue to track so you can see in black and white whether it's helping. It's not just about a feeling. Is it helping? Okay. And sometimes we can't see that. So I'm trying not to make this super. Oh, oops. Wait. Where's the comments? There we go. Okay. Whew. But I do want to go over the list that's in here. Okay. Mostly because when you see the list, these may not be the supplements that you prefer. Maybe you're taking something that some of this is already in. You've already got it in some of what you're taking. So now all you need is like an add-on. You don't necessarily need this combo. You need an add-on. This is where you take charge of your life, people. This is where, okay? These are the things that you do to take charge of you and your life. So let's get into it. So now let me tell you a little bit about what I was dealing with so that you kind of know. I really haven't had a lot of extreme symptoms. It's effectively when I'm tired, which I kind of laugh at that. But like when I'm overly exhausted, when the boys would have a party in the middle of or I really just didn't sleep well and I'm waking up and I only had about 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I'm a sleeper. I need 6, 7 to feel functional. So when something like that happened, I would have a hot flash during the day and, hot flash in the middle of the night. I started waking up in the middle of the night on a consistent basis with a hot flash. I mean, I was hot. It was quick. It was like a minute, maybe 2. Kenzie, no ma'am. And then it would dissipate and I would be back to my normal self under my nice fuzzy warm blanket and, back to sleep. Um, and the ringing in the ear, that started about a year ago and getting it checked out. No results. Like there's nothing wrong with my brain. There's nothing with my symptoms. It's just something happened. And I assumed that because I'd had ear issues all my life, like, I mean, my ear, it starts that random ringing and like you have to kind of close it off, give it a minute to reset itself, and then release it and it goes away, right? Well, that wasn't working. The massaging, the tapping, none of it was working. There's like some tapping thing you do back here, and none of it was working. None of it was helping. So I just kind of hit a point where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to take care of me. And this is one of the symptoms that I'm just going to have to deal with. I hate that phrase, you guys, but like that's legit what I thought. And then I realized as I was watching the video and during the watch party that my kids weren't the excuse as often as I was using them as an excuse. And during the day when I would have hot flashes, they were just as minor. They really weren't that bad. It wasn't like I had to fan myself or get in front of an AC cooler or anything like that. I definitely felt hot. I definitely felt that heat sensation, but it wasn't as extreme as a lot of you have mentioned to me. That being said, the difference today versus a month and a half ago is almost night and day. So let me show you what I've been taking. I found it's a code age. Let me see. There you go. Code age. And this one is relaxation formula. And it's it's just relaxation formula. Okay. I thought I had menopause on there. Just relaxation formula. And then this is the liposomal dim that I've been taking. But this actually comes with there we go. It actually comes with a lot of other ingredients in it. So let's start with my meditate. This was a challenge to get. Let me just tell you. When I first ordered it, I ordered it off Amazon and like it didn't come for like 2 weeks or something. So I canceled it and restarted the subscription. And all of a sudden it shows up at my door like the next morning, right? Alongside this. It was weird, funky. So anyway, I'm gonna hop over and just order it their site, make it easier on myself. So here's what's inside Meditate. Okay. Medicinal mushrooms, GABA, which is an amino acid. Evening primrose. I wrote notes because I wanted to make sure I could see it and we could talk about it. Black cohosh, chasteberry, for those of you that have seen the Latin terms, that's the Vitex acnes castus. It is amazing. I recommend chasteberry for women with extreme PMS situations, especially painful ones. Guy, if I'm mispronouncing it, please correct me. But hey, no ma'am. Chamomile and cruciferous vegetables. Rhodiola, ashwagandha. Oh, wait, that's one. Never mind. Is that right? This has rhodiola, ashwagandha, CoQ10 for our brain. That's what CoQ10 does. It works on our brain. And then something called DHHB. DHHB is a compound found in herbs like devil's claw. And effectively what it does is it helps support joint health. So the lubrication, joint health, the overall health and well-being of your joints, bone density, things like that. It helps. Okay. And Joint health and bone health can be a concern during menopause because of osteoporosis and the degradation of our bones as we age. Okay. What you want is you want to be able to make sure that what you're taking helps not just the symptoms, it is overall wellness. And that's one of the things I liked about the meditate, that it felt like it was overall wellness. So rhodiola and ashwagandha, stress, CoQ10, brain health. Okay. Cruciferous vegetables. Here's why. Cruciferous vegetables actually support estrogen production. And there are components within cruciferous vegetables that if our bodies do not have them, they cannot produce enough estrogen. And one of the things that we lack is we lose estrogen production, lose progesterone production, estradiol, estro- that word always trips me up. Anyway, it's one of those three primary hormones that we actually lose production of as we age. Okay, as we dive deeper into perimenopause, deeper into menopause, that's what happens. Okay, chamomile, it's soothing, it's calming, it releases constituents that help us with anxiety, but more specific, chamomile helps us sleep. Chamomile tea, you've been recommended chamomile tea pretty much all your life, right? That's why. Now, donkai is an amazing herb for women. I recommend it all over the place. There are some Chinese, I'm going to say clinic, Chinese herbal shops, tea shops that carry it in its purest form, in the dried form. It is amazing. Okay. It is used in traditional Chinese medicine all the time to support women's health in all phases of life, but more specifically within perimenopause and menopause. Okay. So we talked about chasteberry, going backwards. So black cohosh, evening primrose, and GABA, those were the top three talked about during that video. And here's the thing with these three is all three of them helps with your nervous system. They help reduce hot flashes because it helps support your body to diminish that fluctuation that is going to trigger a hot flash. Mood swings. Okay. Feeling like you. If you don't feel like you, then those are the three, the GABA, the evening primrose, and the black cohosh. You really want to look into those three herbs. Okay. I mean, obviously GABA, that's an amino acid. It's GABA aminobutyric acid. Okay. Just look up GABA. You'll find it. So those three are really crucial in menopause. They really are so helpful. Now, this one also has medicinal mushrooms. Medicinal mushrooms, especially since I don't like mushrooms. So I'm not going to get them on a normal basis. There's a lot to be said for medicinal mushrooms. Now, if you are allergic to any sort of mold, cannot do the medicinal mushrooms, you guys. Mushrooms, mold, kind of go hand in hand. So if you have any sort of sensitivity, you cannot do those. All right. A way to know one way or the other is to do that food log. Back to your basics and do that food log. What medicinal mushrooms do is they really act as superfood, super nutrients for our body to help our brains operate more effectively, to help our lymphatic system, our circulatory system. It helps our breathing. It's such a powerful nutrient. And there's plenty of them. There's so many medicinal mushrooms that you can just kind of mix and match them. They help the gut health. So, like, let's say you're struggling with leaky gut. You're struggling with a little bit of candida. So your sugar cravings are off the chain. Menopause, perimenopause, that's one of the things that happens is that sugar craving is off the chain. I haven't really had that. Full disclosure, I haven't really had the sugar cravings. But that's what those will help with is sugar cravings. It helps feed your gut without additional sugars. Does that make sense? All right. So now let's look at this one. It's not just the dip. Okay. DIM is really helpful for helping us with hormone production. Okay. Estrogen specifically. Go. DHA, magnesium. Where are these? Oh, maybe I didn't put it on here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. No, I did not put it on here. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay. I need, I'm actually looking at the bottles to see what because I'm sorry, but like, can you read that? I know that's not old age. I've had glasses, reading glasses since I was 16. Obviously your brain or your glasses will be affected by it. Okay. So diinodol methane, DIM, DIM. That's all you need to know. DIM. All right. So that is something that comes out of broccoli. It's like an extract out of broccoli. Helps regulate hormones, cruciferous foods. All right. Vitamin E, hair, skin, nails, because, the thinning. I'm getting the thinning. I think mine's partly because I keep putting my hair up. I need to stop doing that. And then your omega fat. Okay. You need healthy omega fats and proteins like we talked about before. It really helps us with our brain. It helps us with our muscle, our bone density. It helps fuel a body that is trying to figure out what's happening. So we've talked about that whole Back to Basics masterclass on Thursday. Well, part of the reason we're doing that is because if you're going through all these extreme diet detoxes and cleanses and you're trying this and you're trying that, and especially in perimenopause and menopause, there is so much out there and they're telling you, well, take this thing or take that thing and do this diet and do that. And sometimes they're so extreme that you put your body into a trauma situation. So high protein, high omega fats will really help with that. To know how high, how much you should be eating, you get back to basics and you start listening to your body. Your brain and your body start talking to each other like besties, not frenemies, besties. Okay. So you want to look at your EPA, you want to look at your DHA, omega-3, 6, 9. Look at those, see where you are nutritionally. If you're still feeling like you're kind of sluggish, your muscles feel a little weak, look at nutritionally and then look at your supplementation. Okay, I like this one a lot. It's got the black cohosh. It has the evening primrose in it. It has the chasteberry, the donkai, the chamomile. That's what it is. I told you, hold up. I went through all of everything that was in each of these, not realizing. Medicinal mushrooms, GABA. Let's see what's in this. This has the ashwagandha. This has a CoQ10. This has a blueberry blend, so the antioxidants. And then the DHHB, as well as GABA and the medicinal mushrooms and rhodiola. So that's what the code age is. Okay. This has the chasteberry, the black cohosh, the evening primrose, the omegas, the donkai, the chamomile, and the cruciferous vegetables. Because DIM is found in cruciferous vegetables. So they're both plant-based. Big thing in my world. So now, should you go herbal medicine? I don't know. What does your body tell you? There are 3 ways that we can help manage menopause. There is conventional and bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, and then there's herbal medicine and alternative treatments. So traditional medicine, herbal supplements, using nutrition therapy, which is effectively figuring out how your body really wants you to eat. So, get back to basics, figure it out, how you feeling. You need a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that, and that's how you figure it out. Yes, there's strategy to it, but there's a reason we have a 90-day program. Let me just put it that way. You do learn that in that 90-day program, and you learn it as it relates to your body. So we don't have time for that today. Facebook would boot me out. And then there's aromatherapy and there's physical fitness. Okay. There's various things you can do with physical fitness. Now, the only thing I changed was these two. That's the only thing I changed. And within, well, the first day I slept like a baby. I slept so well. And then, what was it? Like 3 weeks later, I forgot them. I forgot to take them for like 2 or 3 days. And normally if you go about 2 or 3 weeks and then you don't take those supplements for like a day, no big deal. But like 3 days, you're kind of starting over. Well, day 3, I go to bed and my ear starts ringing off the hook. I didn't even realize that it had stopped. All I knew is I was waking up feeling refreshed. I really don't need my coffee nowadays. Like I wake up, I get the boys ready for school. We go off to school, come back, and that's when I have my coffee. I don't I don't feel the need, like the habit just disappeared. So obviously my brain and my body were dealing with something, right? And I just wasn't aware of it. Hot flashes are gone. I don't have them unless I forget. And then I added magnesium the other day because I noticed that I was just not eating a lot of the magnesium rich foods, or at least not as much as what my body needs. So I added the BioOptimizer magnesium again. I should be taking it all the time, but like truth be told, I kind of suck at taking supplements. So that's part of the reason I'm so strict about I need to make sure these certain things are in each. Like I want the combos to take as little as absolutely possible. It's part of the reason I like the daily supplement from Neora, because I can put it in water and drink it. But back to these, I feel like me again. I feel like me. For those of you who have put on weight unexpectedly, supposedly this combination will help you relieve that. And I've seen lots of reviews on both where that has been the case. Not paid reviews, you guys, because, Amazon has you mention that. Go past the paid reviews, and there's lots of women who are noticing that they're losing that weight. Now, I'm already losing weight, so I'm happy that it's just helping me stay on that path. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for people like Alta and Carrie who keep my ass in check. If you have questions, let me know. If I can't answer them, I will recommend you. I'll connect you with Alta, or I'll connect you with one of our colleagues, whoever is most appropriate for what you're dealing with. And if you listen this far and you're like, oh, I don't really know where to start, back to basics. We're returning to basics on Thursday. It's a lunch and learn, and there's a replay. So if you made it here, you got questions, DM me, comment, all that good stuff. If you have had experience and you found something that works or something that didn't work, put it in the comments. Okay. I am going to put my Amazon shop link because I created a little idea thingamabobber that has all the things I found really helpful in that specifically for perimenopause, menopause. I'm going to share that with you guys. That'll be down below. For those of you choosing not to shop on Amazon, I will also put direct links. You can just go find them, do your research, try them out. And if you try them or you try something else, I want to hear how it works. We have to start conversations about this, you guys, because there's not enough research. And if science isn't going to do it for us, we need to do it. We are strong women. We can take charge of this and take charge of our health, and we can make our lives significantly better. So I'm in. You in? I do this thing with the boys. We're going to fist bump. Ready? Hold on. Let me turn my ring around. All right. Ready? Fist bump agree. 1, 2, 3. Fist bump. And now it is set in stone. Go off to your research. I'll put those links below. I will also put a link so that you can register for our basics class on Thursday. Okay. I promise you it will be worth it, because any supplementation that you take, regardless of what you're dealing with, gets tremendously more effective quality-wise when your diet and exercise and lifestyle are all in balance. Okay. And the very first step we take all of our clients through is to get back to basic and help them learn how to listen to their bodies more effectively. So we're going to talk back to basics on Thursday. I look forward to seeing you there. I'll put the links in the comments and we'll chat soon. Have a wonderful Monday. I hope everyone woke up, up on Mondays, and you're ready to get the week started because I am sorry. Oh, it was a busy, busy weekend with those boys. So mama needs a break. I need to sit or stand or whatever and work on the computer for a little bit, get my brain activated after such a busy, busy week. I will chat with y'all later. Bye.